Rayanne. Hey, buddy.
You guys don't even know how to say my last name.
What's that?
Yoren.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Excellent, man.
Well, let's talk about the first round of fan voting a little bit. I'll have Kenzie put each class up there, Brent. We can read through them.
Okay.
And then, but talk about the numbers. I know, take over. You take over. I'll shut up.
Yeah, I mean, so first round of fan voting went really well. This year, actually, I mean, I didn't go through and count them, but I would assume probably the most number of pollers that voted for themselves this year. Definitely made making the top 20 list easier. So for those that don't know, it was 13 days essentially of fan voting, and we went through and took the top 20, and we checked to see if they were voting for themselves. That they were. We assumed that they would accept the invite, and then we reached out to the rest of them on that top 20 list and to see if they would accept the invite if they were to get voted in. If they said for one reason or the other that they wouldn't be able to, we then moved on down the list. So 21, 22, 23 until we had the top 20. So the list that you have seen posted on our page, that is the top 20 that said they would accept an invite or do their darnest to be there. So like I said, probably the easiest year putting these lists together. So thank you to the pollers that are starting to support this event. And the voting for round one beat out last year as well. So it's nice to see numbers growing still for this event. And actually just told Jason today and the rest of the group that I was just kind of looking at the insights on the Facebook page. And since round one of fan voting, the page has grown over 8,000 new followers. So thank you to everybody that has followed the page, and hope you are interested in the event, whether you show up in person or purchase a live stream. Every dollar that we make from this event goes back to the pollers and pays the purse. So the more eyeballs that we're getting on the page, hopefully that's in turn is going to lead to more people actually watching the event. So other than that, round two, it just started, opened up 5 minutes ago. It'll go until February 9th at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. So it is the Sunday after Farm Show is when it'll close, or before Farm Show. And then the Monday after Farm Show, is when we will reveal who got voted in and filled the rest of the spots in each one of the classes. So if you go on the website and go to do the fan voting, when you go to each class, it does specify how many you can vote for in each class. So just like two-wheel drives, you can vote up to 4. And pro stocks, you can vote up to 8. So just pay attention to that. You do not have to vote for all 8. You can vote for 1, or you don't have to vote for any. If you just want to vote for, your favorite, a family member or something like that in one of the classes, you can, and you can be strategic about it. If you're, a 4-1 competitor, you don't want to vote for anybody else in your class because you don't want anybody else getting votes. So definitely different ways to do it. And you can vote once per day. If you have multiple people in the household, obviously, as long as they just have multiple email addresses, you're fine. Just don't start abusing it.
I never thought about a point you just made, using your vote strategically as a competitor. Like, if there's a guy who kicks my butt every single time, maybe I build a field that I feel, a certain way about. So I don't know how much one vote at a time would make a difference, but it's fun to think about. That's an interesting concept that pullers can, influence the strategy of what happens out here as well.
Well, I never thought of it that way, Mike, to be honest with you, but I've always thought of it as I'm going to vote for myself and the ones I want to see get in, because if you're voting for other people too, other people might as well. So if that makes sense, you're trying to keep the numbers down, to Brent's point on that. So John Bohr says they're pushing 5 West Coast pullers. So I have the pro stocks up. Now, one thing I do I read through the comments on the Pullers Championship social media, and like, why aren't Mastersons in there? Yep. Listen, they were in there. Trust me. They got fan voted in. We called them.
I will tell you, in the pro stock class, we get a lot of no's because majority of them are farmers.
Yep.
It's the only way.
We know that. and we hear that every year, and we respect your opinion.
Yep.
But our stance has been, and unless something crazy happens, we want this event to be the biggest test and tune in the world. We don't want to interfere with any pulling organization at all. We know if we did this in the middle of the year, people aren't going to come because they don't want to hurt it because they're in a points race. We know they do it at the end of the year. They're harvesting, or my motor's too tired.
Mhm.
We've stuck with this. We know this. I mean, it would be great to put this the third weekend in June or whatever.
Yep.
But then now, look what and I love what RJ's doing, but look, that sent haywire everybody. It fell on top of Hutchinson. It fell on top of Ackville. Now Ackville's not happening because of insurance. You know what I mean? This is our date. Our date's always going to be the weekend before any of the national series start.
Yep. The weekend before Memorial Weekend is the
Yep.
date or the weekend that we're planning to have it every year. Again, unless something changes. And on the flip side of that too, Jason, is we're always going to fall into farming. We're always going to fall into, we just broke on the dyno. We can't get parts. So no matter where you put it, there's always going to be things you run into. We just feel this is the best. So.
Yep. And I love what RJ's doing and Farley. June, what is it? 11th, 12th, and 13th?
12th through the 14th.
And that'll be fun. But this is our version of and this is our fourth year, and we're excited. So, but we'd love to have the Mastersons. We'd love to have. I'm trying to think, but
that's something that we've always discussed. Hopefully, we get to the point where we have a big enough payout where they're just like, we can park it, or we can find somebody to run it.
Yeah,
while we're gone.
Yeah, for $25,000 to win, maybe Kevin will park the planter for a day and come play with us. We'll see. But we're not there yet. So, but we are proud. We paid over $200,000 back last year. And again, if this is your first time ever hearing of the Pullers Championship, every dollar from the gate, the admission gate, every dollar from the live stream, plus the $500 entry fee from the Pullers goes back into the purse, and we just pay it out. And last year, I think last place over the weekend got $1,000 plus their $500 back, roughly. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think that's pretty accurate. So I just we're proud of what we're doing. We do this for the Pullers because the Pullers have been providing entertainment for all of us all these years, and this is our way to give back. We have turned the Puller into a promoter. Look at how many Pullers share this around. The fan engagement. You vote for people that you get to see.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we'll add them when we get to the 4-1s. I'll ask Brent on that, how many we get. So we got 20 minutes left, and I talk too much as it is, but I did let Brent talk for 10 minutes. I'm quite proud. I'm going to read through. And again, Mike, great job with Adam Spiegelberg. Good interview. He supported our event since the first year as well, him and his dad. And rumor is they're buying a mini rod. I don't know. I think that'd be pretty cool to get maybe.
They've been talking about that since Timmermans were selling a mini rod.
And if it's not an actual rumor, it's a rumor worth starting. You know what I'm saying?
So we have the pro stock list up. Again, these are 20 competitors that were voted in. So Brent and I and Kenzie and the rest of us, we called everybody. We texted everybody Facebook message. You made the top 20. If you get through the final round, will you accept our invitation? And that's why we take a week to really determine this, because these are 20 pro stocks that want to be there. They have told Paul Romack or Brent or Kenzie or me or Carrie or Shorefidey or Holzhauer that they want to be here. So barely getting by, Jack Wishmeyer. Beyond Limits, Brandon and Dustin Hart. That's going to be cool to see the Hart boys back out.
Yeah,
I think they're probably sick of Weimer this, Weimer that. They want to prove that they can make a pro stock run.
Yeah, and we did. So their other tractor was, we did get down to the new one, but they don't think it'll be done in time. But they were hoping it. They don't know because they do want to make a test pass before Farley on it. But yeah. So it is cool seeing them back. They haven't pulled since 2019.
If you guys have any comments on any of these, just shut me up and I'll let you talk. Buck Eater 2, Mickey Shorter. El Nino, Rhett Parrish. Hardcore Addiction, Andrew and Brad Hartman. King of Deers, Corey Hoffman. Loud and Heavy X, Brandon Simon. Loud and Heavy Brandon. Loud and Heavy X, Brandon Simon. Loud and Loaded, RJ. Money on Black, Peter Norton. More Agitation, Tara Moore Brittner. Never Given Up, Craig Gladwig. New Generation Plus, the Lemke's. Nutcase, Chris Hoyt. That tractor, that was so cool to see that case out here a couple years ago. I think we had him the last couple years.
He's been there every year. He's
been
one of our supporters.
One More Deer, Davey Moore. Revelation Pro, John Link. The 88 series. T8 Tomcat, Greg Elsing. Trailblazer, Travis Coons. Whiskey Wild, Corey Bob. And Youngblood, Braden Schrammick. So how many pros? We have 8 spots open for pros, right?
8 spots for pro stocks, and
The website will let you vote for 8.
Yep.
Okay, fans? It'll tell you. And I know Adam Stevens is asking about how many spots are open for 4-1s. We'll get there next.
And just another note. So Simons do have 3 pro stocks. That's not a typo. They do have their new one will be done for this next year. Or this upcoming season.
Breaking news. Simons have another.
I noticed on the website it said new tractor, and I scratched my head, but I with the loud and heavy and the loud and loaded and the loud and X, you get lost in the names. But yeah, I'd kind of forgotten, like, no, that the loud and loaded went away and now it's coming back. So
I saw Jason Round Friday night at the Dubuque Fighting Saints hockey game. His tractors will be named at Louisville this year. So you heard it here first. And I can't tell you because he wants it to be a big secret, but I just want it is going to happen. It is going to
Finally, now I don't have to look at the numbers on the tractors to figure out if it's this.
No, and I kind of like that.
8360 or 8370.
Everybody was like, "Oh, I like the clean look." I liked it when it was just a couple, but now there's too many of them.
I thank you, Jason Schultz, for saying that. Pro stock tractor drivers, put a wrap on your tractor, because from a distance, man, oh man, they look identical.
But then you have people like Kenzie and Chandler who say, "Nope, I can tell by the front rim." I mean, so I respect that as well too, because you guys are good. Super stock diesel trucks. Here's your 20. You can vote for. Yarn, how many are we taking, buddy?
In this class, we are taking 4.
You get a vote for 4. That means 6 pullers accepted their initial invite based upon their how they performed in 2024. Again, that's the first. That's how we determine the first invites. Brent and Paul and the guys kind of figure out how you did on national associations. If it's a class where you have the Outlaws and the PPL and the NTPA and some other major state associations, there's not as many fan vote possibility. But you get a vote for 4. So American Pride, Keith Witt, Bad Intentions, Trevor Kneifenegger, Binder Edition, Nick Headley. He ran really good at diesel in our corners.
He won Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Caretaker, Chase Eller, Coal Mine Express, Todd Custer. And we're seeing new names on here this year, Brent, and that gets me excited. That people are like, holy cow, they've heard about it. Or like Brent said, it's been easier this year. People have heard of our event. Concrete Cummins, Andrew Ledford, Cumminized Out.
Cummins out.
Mike,
so
Mike, just take over.
So I can go through this. So Cummins out. That is actually Dave Whalen's truck. It is now down in Louisiana. It will be renamed. I didn't get a name from him yet, but he did say that he would come. Also put in just a note on Bad Intentions. That is a truck out in, I believe, Utah, Idaho. United Pullers and the United Truck and Tractor Pullers, as well as Thane Motorsports. But moving on from where Schultz left off, we got Deadpool, Terry Biggs, Evil Diesel, Randy Overton from Canada, Flammable, that's Marshall DeBrew, Gone Broke, Caleb Hales, he's also one of those Utah trucks, I believe he's Utah, King Kong, Cody Lee, that used to be the Triple Alpha Process, Maverick, Casey Morris, On Borrowed Time, Aiden Hodges, Running in the Red, Calvin Miller, Shy Diesel, Brady Ingram, Shark Bait, Jesse Warren, Something to Prove, Jaden Littman, The Rumor, JJ Brumby, and Trencher, Jeremy Yeager. Jeremy's second truck is the old Grin and Barrett. Jeremy sent me a picture of it. It is indeed the old Grin and Barrett. He's almost done with it. So he's hoping to get it in and make some test passes. Super Farm tractors. And again, that class top 4 will make it into the event.
That's gonna, Brent, you ever just look at these lists and say to yourself, just this list of 20 in an isolated context would be a hell of a show.
I saw it on about every single one of the posters. Like, can we just invite all 20?
And then to say, we're gonna pick 4. Yeah. To me, that in and of itself shows you the level that this pool is capable of. You couldn't pay me to pick 4 out of that class. Yeah. Like, I just want to watch that one, and that's not even counting the 8 whatever that are already in. I mean, that's a stacked lineup, man.
Absolutely. Let's see. Super Farm tractors. Off the top of my head, I think we're taking 6, if I remember correctly.
I've got your website pulled up. I'll look really quickly. Yeah, 6 for the Super Farms.
Okay. Yep. So we have Brooke Ferris and the Absolutely Nuts, Jason Binney and All Cranked Up, Steve Broadley, the Al Chalmers D21, Brooke Ferris and the Assorted Nuts, Dan Schulte, Binder Express, Robert Cordes, In the Blue Collar Dollar, Shane Hunt and Chasing a Dream. Dan Vinny, Crank It Up. Greg and Russ Freeze with Deer Tracks. Josh Miley, High Maintenance. Dustin and Larry Oswald in the Keystone Case. Mac Darnell, Maximum Overdrive. Eddie Rowe in the Redwiser. Shane McFarlane in the Ruttenbuck. Nick Scar and the rest of the Screaming Norwegian team. Brad Foster and the Moonshiner. Shane Maston, Thumpin' Pumpkin. Brad McFarlane, Untamed. Bill Casey, the Whoopie Maker. And then Jeremy Roberts, Wicked Whitetail. So, again, top 6. Top six. Yep,
Top
in
6
that class.
out of that class.
All right, so light super stock tractors. We have Ryan Frykes in the Addiction. It used to be one of my favorite tractors growing up. That used to be the Blue Can Fever. Cole Forrester and Airborne. Kyle Carlin and the newly redone Bad Blood. Clay Haney and Cujo Unleashed. Adam Spiegelberg, Detonator Black. Esden Lane and the Diggin' Fever. Evening Thunder of Kevin Essery. Larry Phillips's Extremely Insane. Bobby Jones, Field Sobriety. Brent Payne, Galot. David Mintz in the Whole Shot. Brandon Phillips, Insanity. The JD Tractor of Cody Haney. Brandon Phillips, John Deere 7310R. Justin Hoffman, the last one standing. Ryan Henley and Kenneth Hale in the Light Trouble. Bernie Plot's Little Bad Alice. Elmer Hogg in the Little Temptation. Martin Daniels on the Edge. And then Brian Schrammick in Red.
Did Brandon Phillips, so I was rewatching some of the Grand National season this winter, and I noticed that he just called that 7310R, and this doesn't matter for anything, but I felt like he kept the name Loud and Light on that for a while. Am I mistaken there?
Yeah,
Didn't
he ran
call
it
Loud
and
Light, and then did he take the name away?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Okay.
So I'm sure they have a plan for naming it, but I don't tell. I don't know. Light super stocks, we are taking, is it 7? I think it's 7. If I remember off the top of my head.
That's your job, Britt.
Yep.
Tell us.
Light
I tried to do my
Super
best.
Tractors, top 7 advance according to your awesome website.
Perfect. Two-wheel drive trucks. So this top 20 was the legitimate top 20. I had to reach out to one poller. The rest of them voted for themselves.
Awesome.
So made it pretty simple.
Here's the best comment of the night. I like this one.
That's awesome.
Oh.
All right, so two-wheel drive trucks. Out of 260 some in the country, we are down to the top 20 and only 4 getting in. So
Wow.
start out Michael White in the Addiction, Will Teasley in Apex, Wesley Foster, Barbed Wire, Donnie Sullivan, Big Stick, Stephen Poor and the Boogie Woogie, Ethan Foster and Crosswired, Seaver Perry in Dirty Deeds, Jacob Wiley in Easy Money, Eddie Wiley in Final Notice. That was the Out of the Blue truck from the Corsa family, and prior to that used to be Spike from Mattingly's. The Timmerman family, Hot and Nasty, Andrew Sprock in the Maximum Ride, Jeremy Nelson in the Midnight Gambler, David Poor in the One Last Shot, which I believe was the Thor truck. When I grabbed a picture of it,
it sure looks like it, Brent.
Yeah, I saw it, and I'm just, because I was wondering where it went when I was putting my list together, and I believe that is the old Thor truck. Tim Beatty in the Sawmill Express, David Hunt and Shameless, Paul Sprock and Sprock Farms, Tommy Reedy in the Felon. He is one that is out from Idaho, I believe, as well. That runs.
We saw him run at the Golden State Invitational.
Yep, I know he bounces into California as well. So moving on, we have Dale Norman and Untouchable, Leanne Tremolian May and the Thriller, and then Mark Ford and Tremor. A lot of Southern trucks. They definitely showed up in the voting.
I read a comment. Somebody said Mid-South showed up well this year. Did they?
Oh, yeah. I would say between them and TNT, they're 75% of the list.
Okay.
All right. Modify. Oh, perfect. That's what I thought. Thanks, Ted.
Thanks, Ted.
Modify mini tractors. We are taking now 7. Unfortunately, Ken Venny is not going to be able to make it, so we are going to move that spot to a fan vote spot. So
and listen, fans, he wants to be there, but he basically said there's just some stuff going on and doesn't want to take the spot. If he's not 100% sure. So I said that's okay. Just we'll wait. And he says no. So anyway.
Modify minis. We have Logan Pizig and Aftermath. AJ spelled it wrong. Sorry, I got called out for that one. I think it's Freitas is how I typed it too fast. It's Freitas. The bankroller. It's still owned by Fagundes, Robbie Fagundes, Adam Kester and the Beast of Burden, Abby Leichner and Bobcat Jr., Butch Poland and the Bull Hauler. I did not realize he's actually got 2 tractors now.
Okay.
So based on the pictures, it looks like it was Chris Shoemaker's tractor, but I'm not going to confirm that. But it looks like it was his tractor. So I put the newer one on there. If he wants to bring the other one, if he gets voted in, I don't know. They're both called Bull Hauler. So
Yeah.
Abby Leichner and Dirt Slinger. That is a new mini rod. That is Matt Johnson's mini rod. Tim Pyzik and Fallout. Adam Kester and Footloose. Jeremy Nelson and Half Past Midnight. Mike Evans, It's No Joke. Holt Strickland and Just Ask. Chris Burnett, Little Disaster. Let's see. Renee Theobald and Pretty Wicked. Robbie Fagundes and the Sharecropper. Mary Kale and Spending Their Inheritance. The Stress Relief of Todd Boltman. Brandon Lofgren and the Gravy Train. Chase Richardson, Vibrator. Adam Kester, Walk the Line. And then Logan Stevens, Wheatland Express. I don't know. If it is, he already got the chassis painted lime green. So, which it was orange. I don't know. So yeah, top 7. All right, and then 95 Limited Pro Stocks. So I believe this should be the last class. And this is top 5, I believe, in this class. We're gonna start out Oliver Eilenstein in A Matter of Time, Michael Fanning in Bad Habit, Bad to the Bone, Patrick Payne, Ken and Sydney Summers with Colorblind, Kevin Engelking in The Dark Horse, Ethan Weston and Deer Hunter 4.1, John Coots, Diggin' Deer, Jed Pettis and Dixie Deer, Nathan Brown and Double Vision, Randy Stuckenschneider and Family Feud, Darren Ratterman, Full Bore, Mike Gerlach and G-Force, Brad Foster and the Hillbilly Moonshiner. That used to be the sibling rivalry.
Yep.
Justin Smith and Moody also used to be the Change of Pace. Gage and Rod Schottel and the Old Black Magic. Dusty Whitaker and Precision Pro. Running the Red of Nick Gallitz. Adam Stevens and Slow Ride. Seth Novak, the Bounty Hunter, and then Keith Myers and Weezer.
That's that all polished aluminum looking tractor, right? The John Deere Weezer?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So that is those are the top 20.
So people asked about mods. It's kind of invite only. We're going to take care of that. If you're a modified puller and interested in coming, just message the Facebook page or get hold of one of us. Same with semis, right, Brent? Is that our stance?
Yep. So I started reaching out the last week or two. Some of those competitors, more specifically semis, mods. We actually have verbal commits from 6 already, and they just reached out to us and interested in coming. So it's a positive sign that hopefully we have a full class of 10 this year, which would be awesome. We got some good interest from semi competitors this year as well. So hopefully, try to keep growing every year. It seems like we just get one more, and we're hoping to get at least 8 this year is kind of my goal, and kind of see where we're at. But other than that, 85 Limited Pros, that's another promoter's choice class. Those invites have already been sent out, and we made that post back in November. And I think we still have a couple more that still need to register, but they still have time until we have to start bugging them. And then also Facebook page, we started going through and making the post daily throughout the week for the invites have already registered. So we will continue that and probably have a post like that every day until the Polish Championship, May 16th and 17th.
Awesome. So, okay, the fan vote, again, goes to February 9th at 11:59 p.m., right?
Correct.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
And then another thing just want to put out there is we're looking for sponsorship. Anybody that you know, or if you want to sponsor the event, please do get a hold of one of us. You can message our page, or we now have our own little sponsorship email called sponsorship@thepolishchampionship.com, and you can get a hold of us there as well.
Good deal.
Awesome.
Good deal. Well,
Thanks,
cool,
Steve.
Brent. Thanks for coming on tonight. We'll have you back on in 2 weeks. So.
Awesome. Yep. And just to let you know that we're already flying through through votes here. So
Yeah, I was going to
Already
ask.
a lot
if
coming
anybody's
in.
voted yet.
So I think we'll probably by the end of the night be well over 1,000 votes already tonight. So
What's the most popular class that people are voting for so far?
oh, I can tell you that in just a second. Let me just create a report.
I get people ask me all the time how they're doing. I'm like, I don't even know. Brent won't even tell me because he knows I got a loud mouth.
He's got yeah.
Oh, let's see. So
Steve
far,
Bunnies, I hope everything goes good at the farm show so you can come
Yeah.
to the pool.
Yeah. So this is big news right here. Yep.
that's always what we worry about is those our competitors that have already registered
Yeah.
or just
A
got
lot of you
voted
watch
in.
the farm show and cheer. We watch the farm show, and if they live and there's no big bangs, we're like, yes. Oh, shoot.
Let's see. The most voted class right now is two-wheel drives.
I was wondering because based on the way you guys were talking with the Mid-South pullers and the TNT, and that being a new to this year class, you know, where it was original and then the four-wheel drives came in. Now we're back to the two-wheel drives. So that tells me those guys are making their voice heard saying we want to be a class.
Honestly, it is a complete opposite of year number one. Year number one, I went through about 200 competitors until I filled the class.
You said, please come.
Yeah. And
Now
so it
there's
took a
The
while.
reason they weren't back the next year.
Yeah. And then, you know, we had a lot of competitors that wanted it, and we want to keep changing things up so it's not the same every year. And now they've come out of the woodworks and are definitely trying to, you know, support the event the best they can, and we appreciate them. And, you know, now moving forward, it's going to be like, well, you know, they're one of the classes that really want to be there. It's going to be a lot. There's a lot more conversations that are going to have to be had then moving forward on what classes that we need to switch out. So hopefully it grows big enough where we can have, you know, more classes.
More sessions.
Yep.
Yeah. Like that.
Holzhauer has if they will build it if they come. Is that all the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to come before he'll build it.
Yeah.
The Iowan said the other way around. Brent, thanks for all that you do. We appreciate you. He cannot be bribed. Okay, he's way more honest than I am. So it's all. That's why I'm in charge of promotion.
Jason Schultz says I can be bought.
I'd have it all done already. Like the final round would be like, all right, see you guys. Oh, cool. Thanks, Brent. Have a good night, buddy.
Yep. You as well. Take care, guys.